absolutely. Mark, you look like you had a thought on this as well.
Well, I think that you have to look at this in perspective of movie-going audiences around the entire world. And obviously, with India and with China and Russia and movies playing everywhere, if you really look at the 3D numbers on a global basis, they're quite extraordinary. Mm-hmm. And I think also, sometimes, you know, I mean, either way, you just saw 2D and 3D, and everyone seemed to be equally satisfied. So I think that, you know, if it fits, and the filmmaker like Tarsem really feels that it can enhance the audience's experience, mm-hmm. and it's really badass like this, then I think we want more of it. Otherwise, I think it's still about good stories well told.
It's interesting. And then, Gianni, talk a little bit about, I mean, the 300 success story. This film's very different, but it seems to me that there might be a line drawn from that success to this project. Did that project lead to the investigation that led to this one?
No.
No, zero. Not even a bit. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Stephen, you know, with, when you look at your career, you've had great success, and recently, I love the movie Somewhere, and that's absolutely. And it's interesting to see actors put together a career where they do small films, they do dialogue-driven films, and then take on these sort of big canvas films. Is that something you are consciously trying to do, and does that just keep it exciting for you?
Yeah, I mean, I just try to mix it up. I feel like being an actor is only exciting when you can do different things, work with different filmmakers, explore different genres. If you're doing the same thing and you're doing things you don't believe in, you're a bit of a slave, I think. It's not a very good job. So for me, if I'm gonna be an actor, I want to do things that I want to do, and I want to play different kinds of roles, different challenges on all different scales. So that's what I try to do, yeah.
Henry, I have to ask you, since you did fly in, you were in Chicago, you were working on a small film. We've heard recently that that movie might be moved on this, well, it is moved on the schedule. Is there anything you'd like to tell the world about that today? And there might be snipers. Chris Nolan has snipers. They're probably right up there.
There's really nothing I can say apart from the fact that it's one of the best scripts I've ever read, and I'm excited about it, humbled by the whole experience, and I can't wait to get started. That's
great. And then Luke, you know, going from Clash to this, you've been promoted. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's nowhere to go now. That's it.
What's that?
They have to create a bigger god now.
Yeah, exactly. Getting to be a bigger god.
Played my father. It's a funny thing having to have played two gods. It's very strange. It wasn't planned at all, and I don't have a god complex at all.
Is there any more gods in your future, do you think? Do you have more gods you would like to cross off the list?
I mean, if they're as fun as this one was to play and as enjoyable as it was as an experience, I'd happily do it again.
That's great. And then Kellen, talk a little bit more about Poseidon. I mean, you mentioned that he's the salty guy, or that's what you were saying backstage. How does that come across? Does he take the piss out of his brother?
It's just really not. I have 6 brothers myself, and it's fun to mess around with those brothers as well as messing around with Zeus. I mean, when you're a god, you're all powerful. So to have 2 godly brothers wrestle and fight Trident against Lightning Bolt, that would be an epic fight. But yeah, my character's very salty in this film.
Fantastic. Well, I am told that we are out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, 11, 11, 11.
You want to show it again?
But first, we're going to leave.
But first, if you all don't mind, we'd like to show you that fight scene again. So,
Immortals.